here are familiar with Rise Austin? Any? No, couple? No? Brand new? Good. So what we do is we're a nonprofit here in town. We're going on our sixth year of programming. And we do events around the year. The biggest event that we do is in March, and it's for entrepreneurs of all stages. I would say the biggest audience that comes from is really early stage startups. Do people here, just by a show of hands, how many of you have your own companies, or you're starting, or you have an idea? Anything? Couple? Cool. So we basically, our biggest event is in March, from March 26th to the 30th. And what we do is we put together small group sessions, and those are all led by local entrepreneurs, service providers, people that are going to give you the information that you need in your business. Even if you're working at a company and you are really innovating a lot of the things that your company's doing and you kind of consider yourself an entrepreneur, these are really good events for you also. So last year, and I can give you examples from the 2011 programming because it'll be similar, only a little bit bigger in our 2012 programming. We're kind of gearing up right now since it's the fall and our event is 6 months away. So last year we had 350 sessions ranging the gamut from how do you market your new business? How do you find funding for your business? What are the pieces of legal advice that you need when you're starting out? Because as everybody knows in a startup company, those are really expensive things to have to learn, and also really expensive to learn the hard way when you could get that information. And so we started, a little bit of the history of Rise is we started 6 years ago because the Kauffman Foundation was creating Entrepreneurship Week USA, and they called our board members and said, Austin is one of the most entrepreneurial cities in the country. We would love for you guys to do something because you just have such a great energy there, so what can you put together? So they took what they knew, which was the South by Southwest model, and with that model is the decentralized, how can we have all of these different hosts all around the city but be kind of hands-off from an organizational standpoint. And so that's what we've done over the last 5 years. That first year in 2007, the board kind of reached out to 40 of their friends and said, hey, would you be willing to share your expertise with this early stage entrepreneur population? And so that's what they did. And there were 250 participants that came to this free conference that year. There were 2 days of meetings. So then fast forward to 2011, where we had 350 sessions and around 4,000 participants. And you probably heard me say that this is a totally free conference for entrepreneurs. And so each session is like 90 minutes where you get maybe 45 minutes of expertise from these people, but what RISE stands for is a relationship and information series for entrepreneurs. So we really want you to build that relationship, to get really great information, and be able to spread that amongst your networks and be able to connect with the people that are speaking. As most of you have probably learned about Austin, we have a really great entrepreneurial community. Things like this, the Door64 Tech Fair, ways that you can reach out to people in the community and get to know them and see how they can help you in your business, because everybody wants to help because they came from somewhere in their company. So things to remember, I guess there are 5 different people that I look for when I'm going into kind of this recruitment cycle of when we're going to do our event. And the first thing, which all of you should do, is you should come and participate in some of those sessions. So if you don't get our emails already, I would love for you to email me and I'll put you on our list. My email address is dana@riseglobal.org. I would give you all cards, but I've ordered new ones, and so I'm out at the moment. But please email me, and we'll get you on our list, because we would love to have you to learn from this great wealth of knowledge that we have here in this city. The second thing is we need hosts for all of these sessions. And so if you've been through the process of starting a company, or you've gone through the IPO phase, or you're really well-versed in marketing or sales, and you could explain that to somebody else and really want to give back to the community, we will be sending out emails as calls for hosts. The third thing is we need volunteers. As with, Door64, these events don't happen. We have a very, very small team, so these events happen because you have a lot of community involvement. So I'll be calling for those as well. Fourth is obviously sponsors. That's how we do it, and I'm so thankful for the sponsors. Capital One Bank is our presenting sponsor. They were in 2011. They will be in 2012, and they've been so supportive of the entrepreneurial community here. And then the fifth, I'm forgetting what the fifth is, but the biggest thing is just come and participate and learn from your community members and learn from your friends. So few things to remember on Rise is that the dates are March 26th through 30th. That's Monday through Friday, and there will be sessions all throughout those 5 days, all around the city. Some of them may be here, they may be at in a boardroom at your office, at somebody else's office, it may be in a coffee shop down the street. They're all around the community. So I encourage you to check out our website, riseglobal.org, and get more information there. Also, a couple things. Oh, this is my fifth. I remembered what my fifth was. So we have events throughout the week that are bigger events. These small group sessions are the bulk of what we do, but then we do things like a keynote presentation. Last year we brought in Robert Johnson, who's the founder of BET and the RLJ companies, and he came actually here at AT&T Center and did a keynote presentation for us, just telling us what his story looked like over the past 25 years. And then throughout the week, we had other events. We had a fast pitch event where if any of your companies or anybody that you know is looking for funding for your organization or exposure, the fast pitch is really important for that, because we put you up in front of 250 to 350 people to pitch your company in 60 seconds with 2-minute Q&A with a panel of judges, and they will basically rip into your idea. But the coolest thing about this are those people that you're speaking to in the audience, because each one of them may know somebody or want to connect you with somebody that can help you in what you're trying to do. The third thing is we have a funding forum that we do every year, and this is typically for the companies looking for $500,000 and above in funding for their companies, and we take 10 companies to do that also. So if you are looking, again, for the higher level funding or the lower level funding, I would very much encourage you to keep watch for these emails about the call for applications for the funding forum and the fast pitch, because those are great, great events to get involved with. So that was the kind of fifth makeup that we're looking for. But just want to encourage you to check out our website, riseglobal.org, get more information. Everybody is welcome, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, or want to be, or just want to be around this energy. Please come to the conference. Like I said, it's a free conference. We put it on for the community because we really want you to be connected. We want you to be connected with the business leaders, with the rest of the community, so you can be inspired in what you're doing and create change in our city. Do you guys have any questions about what it is we do, or is there anything I can clarify? So the question is, if I'm understanding you right, you want me to tell you more about the small group sessions?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. So we basically have somebody from the community step up and say, I want to host a session. I can give you an example. For example, let's say Philip Berber, if you're familiar with him. So what he used to do is he had a company called CyberCore. It was a technology company. Sold it for, hundreds of millions of dollars, and now is doing social innovation and nonprofit work. So he comes in and says, I'm going to host a session, and then he will speak for those. And this is something I don't think I've touched on, but we keep all of these small group sessions at 25 people. The reason we do that is so you can really build relationships, because somebody, like Philip's case, he could fill a room easily this size, but then you're not going to have the access to him that you would typically have if it's a smaller group, and really be able to build that relationship. And so what we do in those, and what I always tell our hosts is, speak what you know and speak what you're talking about, but what they're really here for is to learn from you and ask you questions. What did that look like on day one? How did you decide that it was time to IPO your first company? How did you decide that you wanted to go into the social innovation space and the nonprofit space once you got rid of your company? Questions like that you really want to understand what's going on in their minds when they're making these decisions, and they really take this time and the opportunity of these small group sessions to get to know people and give back to them. Yeah, thank you. Great question about volunteering. So we have a couple different areas that we need volunteers. We look for volunteers to do setup and breakdown registration, also helping us in the sessions. So if we try to be able to have a volunteer at every session that can kind of be the facilitator, take the attendance, make sure that the attendance sheets get back to us, and we really listen to the volunteer. If there's a certain session that they want to sit in on or be a part of, we leave it up to them to be there. And then also for our bigger events, when we talk about like the fast pitch event or the keynote presentations, we need a lot of kind of traffic control, answering questions. And so for volunteering, we do have 2 volunteer training sessions that we will take people through, like this is the mission of RISE, this is why we do it, what it's for, so you really can be the mouthpiece for us. With having a smaller team, we rely heavily on those volunteers to make sure everything goes smoothly. So his question was about space. I'd like to host a session, my office is further away from town, or it's too small, or we don't think we could hold that many people, what do you do? First answer is there are sessions all over town. I mean, I've seen some up in Pflugerville, Round Rock, all over the place. If you would rather them be closer to town, it's obviously easier for people to go to the sessions in town. And what we do for that is we have a list of preferred locations. So I have people come to me and say, I would love to, maybe a co-working space or something like that in town, saying we would love to host RISE sessions at our office. And so we will connect you with them, or you can reach out to those. Thanks so much to the Door64 Tech Fair, and hope you guys had a great day.